Hi, my name is Sylvain. I'm one of the founding brothers of Stump Chunks. The question often asked us is, who is Stump Chunks? Well, our company was founded on a cold New Hampshire winter night when my three brothers and I discovered the power of the stump and how easy it was to just use a handful of this Stump Chunks to light a fire. Our family's been in the recycling business, the wood business, for over 30 years, trying to find better ways to utilize Mother Nature's resource. Stump Chunks is one of those ways. It's really, in the past, stumps were just buried in a hole, covered up, left to decompose. No longer. Now your family, can enjoy the power of the stump at home. We're a family business, and it was a real simple idea. Let's bag this. Let's let every other family enjoy the power of the stump. Let them light a fire faster, quicker. Help them get to step 3. And step 3 is a very important step of lighting a fire. It's so important. We put it on the back of the bag. I'll read it to you. Step 3 just simply says, open beverage, put up feet, relax, enjoy. So give Stump Chunks a try. It just works.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us outside. So what we're going to do today is we're going to show you how to light Stump Chunks using wood, charcoal, different types of fires. We're going to show you how Stump Chunks work. First, what we're going to do here is I'm just going to light a pile to show you, number one, how we light the product, where we light it, and how quick it lights. So basically, here's a small handful of Stump Chunks, and as you can see, the product has a lot of little hairs. That's what we like to call them, a lot of little pieces. Those are what's going to allow the product to light quickly, so you want to light those little hairs first. So all I'm going to do, now you can use a standard lighter if you'd like this. I particularly would rather use wooden matches, nice long wooden matches. I'm going to light my match, and I'm just going to light the Stump Chunks here in a couple areas. You can see I'm lighting the little hairs, and it lights right up. What you don't want to do is light the product in the bag. The product needs airflow. Within the bag, it doesn't have airflow. Also, you run into paper flying all over the place, and no one likes that. I hate to waste the matches, so I just put them back in. We'll let that go, and you can see how that burns and how long it's going to burn. Over here to my right, we're actually going to start a fire. Whether it's a fire pit, whether it's a fireplace, whether it's a wood stove. I always want to lay down a couple pieces of wood first. Then I'm going to take some Stump Chunks, usually about a softball-sized handful. People ask me all the time how much to use. I'm always in a big rush, so I use a little bit more. But you can use less, especially if you chop up your wood a little smaller. But it really depends on how much moisture is in your wood. The wetter the wood, the more you need. I'm going to kind of angle this like this so that you guys can see the fire lighting. Again, I'm going to take my match, a match somewhere. I'm going to light the match. I'm going to light the little hairs again. Now, I could light it just in one area and stop, and it'll spread. Again, I like to light it in a couple areas. In a fireplace or wood stove, you'd only be lighting it in the front like this anyways. In a fire pit, you could light the back. And that's all there is to it, to getting the Stump Chunks to light. As you can see, we've got our Stump Chunks only there. That didn't take long for it to get cranking. And here, we'll let this go and see how it comes out. Other uses for Stump Chunks are charcoal. 2 basic ways to light charcoal. One would be to use a chimney starter like so, and I'll show you how we do that. Another way is to lay out your charcoal. If I'm going to smoke, for example, I don't want to light all my charcoal at the same time if I want to slow cook. So I might throw a little pile of Stump Chunks in the middle and let it light my charcoal from the inside out. If I've got an offset smoker, I'll put my charcoal at one end and let it burn through the other end. So I get a nice slow burn. In this instance, maybe I want to cook some steaks or some hamburgers. I want all the charcoal lit. So I'm going to lay out the charcoal. For this purpose, I stuck it on top of the grill so you could see it. However, obviously, we'd be putting it underneath. And I'm just going to sprinkle stump chunks on the charcoal in different areas. Again, I'm going to take my match. Now here it's recommended that you do light it in a couple different areas so it just spreads everywhere. It's spread on its own. However, I like giving it some help. Here we go. From there it'll spread to all the charcoal and it'll light right up. I can hear my wood crackling over there. I guess that fire got going. Now when I use a charcoal chimney, and again, charcoal is like wood. More moisture in the product, maybe the longer it'll take to light. And charcoal does absorb moisture. What I would normally do with a chimney is I get a little piece of tin foil like this so my stump chunks don't go through the grill. I want to make sure I have some airflow, so I'm doing it on top of the grill. I've already loaded my chimney. I'm going to put that aside for a second. I'm going to take a little handful of stump chunks, a place in the middle, take my match, and again, you could just light it in one area, but I'll light it in a couple areas. I'm just going to take my chimney and throw it on top. Now the object here is you never want to light charcoal from the bottom up. You always want to light charcoal from the top down so that your charcoal on top is nice, white, hot, red, and it's cooking, and your charcoal on the bottom isn't wasted. If you go from bottom up, by the time you get heat to the top, you're out of charcoal. This is why we light on top here. Over here, in the chimney, a little different process. I'm going to light from the bottom up, but when I dump it, the black coals are going to get on the bottom, and the hot red coals are going to be on top. I didn't load this chimney. I loaded it about 3/4. So when I get red to about 3/4 here, to either the last hole or the second hole, my charcoal's ready. Traditionally, this will take about 5 minutes for the charcoal to be ready. This could take 8 to 10, 15 minutes, again, depending on your charcoal. Briquettes traditionally take a little longer to light in this method than does lump charcoal. But you can see both the chimney and the charcoal here is getting ready pretty good. Over here, we're burnt down to almost nothing, as I can show you. I mean, it'll burn down to basically nothing. And obviously over here, you can see the fire going extremely well. Just a little hint when you're adding wood to a fire pit, fireplace, wood stove, try to add one piece at a time. Add a piece, let the energy from the fire light that piece, and add another piece and another piece. If you add too many at one time, it takes all the energy away and your fire isn't going to burn as well. As you can see, this is burning great. It's not only burning the wood on the top, it's burning the wood on the bottom, which is why we laid them pieces down. I'm going to do one more thing here. S'mores is a big thing. So I had a friend of mine, a lot of good ideas come from customers. We were at a show, and the guy was just telling me about s'mores with his kids. And he was saying what he did, instead of lighting a traditional fire and waiting for the fire to go, his kids were in a rush, he was in a rush. So he took a whole bag, he dumped it like this, and he lit it. And the kids were able to start cooking their s'mores in about a minute and a half. By the time they were done cooking, all he had left over was a little bit of ash to throw away, and that was it. No big fire. Kids loved it. Again, I could light it in just one spot. I'll light it in a couple. There we go. We'll let that burn. As you can see here with the charcoal, I'm going to take a pair of gloves here. I don't want to burn myself. You can see the flame coming up through the top. I don't know if you can see in the video. I'm red just about here, so I'm going to wait a little bit longer. My charcoal here, I don't know if you could tell, but it's red. It's red, it's white. The middle's good and hot. I can basically put my cover on that, warm up the grill, and start cooking. I don't know how long that took, but it wasn't long. Again, with my chimney here, I'm pretty much at this point, I'm red to about halfway. So for me, that's good. here's what I do. We'll let it go a little longer, get rid of a little bit more. You can see my stump chunks here. I can start cooking s'mores. Put my s'mores right up here. Get them nice. If I want them roasted, I put it down a little bit more. Getting some nice heat out of here. Back to the charcoal here. Let's take this out. Now at this point, I could take this, dump it on top of my charcoal, or I could just fold it up. Let it cool, throw it away. I don't have a mess anywhere. Again, I want to cook, so I'm going to take the charcoal. I'm going to dump it on top again so you can see. There we go. Nice and warm. I can start cooking now. So a couple different methods of lighting charcoal. Both work great. If I'm in a rush, I'll use the chimney, which you can buy at any store. There's different variations of them. If I'm not in a big rush, this works absolutely fantastic, laying it out like that. I'm still cooking my s'mores. I'm still got a little flame here, and my wood and my fire here, I'm ready to go. It's time to sit by the fire. Time to put another log on. We got one more thing to do. Pizza ovens. I got a pizza oven over here. Pizza ovens are getting very popular. To light the pizza ovens, again, it's a fire. Two methods to do it. One way would be to lay a bed of charcoal down here, light the charcoal, get the coals good and hot, and then place your wood on top. Today I'm going to show you just lighting the wood. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to put a couple pieces of wood down. Like that. I'm going to take some stump chunks. I used my whole bag on the s'mores. We'll open another one. And I'm going to lay my stump chunks across on the wood. Instead in just one area, I'm going to lay them across like that. I'm going to take my other wood. I'm going to lay it on top. Now, every pizza oven's different. Directions might be different. In my particular pizza oven, I like to light the fire in the front like this. I'm going to take my match. I'm going to light the stump chunks. Then I'll light it in a couple areas. Going after those little hairs. I'm going to let that go a few minutes. What I do with my pizza oven is I'm trying to get the oven to about 900 degrees. I light my fire here, I let it get going, and then I'm going to put the cover over it, leaving about a ½ inch around. That'll really help create a draft and get that fire going. I'm going to continue to add logs to it till I get a nice bed of coals. Then I'm going to push my fire to the back, get it up to 900 degrees, and I can start cooking pizza. Here's my cover, so I'll show you what I do. Let that go for a few seconds, and you can probably see the flames from behind the cover just getting larger as that airflow is going through. Feel free to pick up one of our brochures. It'll answer most of your commonly asked questions. What is stump chunks? What's in stump chunks? How much do I use? How do I use it? And watch this video as many times as you want. Again, I'm going to pull this out so you can see this fire too is going. Powered by stump chunks. It just works. Thank you.